Hello my angels, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I post a video every Tuesday. This week I was actually planning on sharing a meditation with you, but before I jumped on, I felt called to allow Kali Ma to guide us into a little self-reflection and share a message for this week ahead. And of course, if you're watching this at a later date, then this video has come into your life for a purpose. I strongly believe that, so this message is also for you. So tuning in together, if you'd like to sit up tall wherever you're watching this from, obviously skip this if you're driving and watching, but ideally you will be at home sitting up like I am. And today I just created my new office space where I'm spending my summer here in Canada. I'm very, very excited about it. I feel like I can finally breathe because I have just been, my stuff's been in the back of my car. I've been driving, as if you've been following my journey, I just drove from California to Canada. Last minute, I was supposed to be in Costa Rica now, and yeah, I'm really excited to share just everything that's been happening since I've been home in Canada, because there's been a lot of like really exciting stuff. And yeah, it's just a reminder that when it feels like there's obstacles and things are getting hard and difficult, they're actually just changing the way for something better to come. They're just rerouting you. And that's why I always say rejection is God's protection, because a few months ago I was going through a lot of rejection and just things not working as I wanted them to, and now it makes sense. So I will be sharing that next week in my next video, but for now, sitting up tall and closing our eyes and just dropping in energetically, bringing your awareness inward, releasing any distractions from your day, and just watching the breath move in and out. Maybe think of any challenges or what is perceived as obstacles coming up in your life at this time. Maybe bringing something you're ready to release into your awareness, and something you're ready to manifest, to bring into your life this week. Breathing deep into the lower belly, breathing all the way into the hips, filling up with air, holding at the top, and an audible exhale. Releasing all tension and being fully present for the following message. We call upon Kali to share her wisdom, her divine guidance with us for this week ahead and for the future, for anyone tuning in now or at a later date. And just leaving your eyes closed if you'd like. Maybe placing your hands over the heart and fully tuning into this message from Kali Ma, our fierce mother, the warrioress, the slayer of ego, the slayer of limiting beliefs, of the masks that we wear to protect ourselves that aren't really protecting us anymore, the layers that we're ready to release. So our card is Dharma of Kali. To honor the Dharma means to live according to genuine spiritual principles. What those principles are depends on your inner values. To live according to your values means living with integrity of being, conducting yourself according to an inner spiritual code. If you're not quite ready to take such responsibility, or do not yet have the confidence to trust in your own values, work with an external moral code and attempt to align with that. Morality is like training wheels for the soul, imposing concepts of right and wrong. It is a top-down approach, mind first, then attempting to mold behavior accordingly. Spiritual integrity is a different approach. It does not ask what others think about a matter or how we will be judged for acting in a certain way. Rather, it inquires as to what resonates as the most spiritually aligned course of action. It considers how we can speak and act in such a way that those inner values are respected. Adherence to external moral codes is useful in the earlier stages of development, but when a soul is ready to grow, being overly guided by morality can undermine spiritual progress. Morality can lead the soul into a state of psychological infancy, responding to externally imposed measures of conduct and aiming to avoid repercussions when a transgression is discovered by another. Or it may suffer with guilt and shame when a moral code has been violated, intentionally or not. In such a mindset, we hand power over to the collective that establishes the code, whether it be a religious, socio-economic, family, or political group, or the collective more generally. In following that code, we can adopt something of a childlike attitude to punishment and reward. Hence, the shock when bad things happen to good people. Those with the courage to grow into following an inner code take greater responsibility for their lives and their actions. From greater responsibility arises greater freedom. In moving away from the crowd, such souls can forge their own path. This does not mean we act in a way despicable to others. Certainly, there are people who deny the power of a moral code, but also lack an inner connection to spiritual presence, and so move with an absence of integrity altogether. Such people create much pain for themselves and others, as they assume a level of personal power without the spiritual maturity to ensure that power is expressed benevolently. Our evolutionary process for strengthening our connection to Dharma, or spiritual law, transforms our relationship with ourselves, each other, and the world. As we grow spiritually and mature at a psychological level, we naturally begin to cultivate our inner values. We learn the often painful lessons of what happens when we abandon our values to pursue that which society says is more important: control, profit, or personal gain at any cost. Social status through positions of power, for example. We increasingly align ourselves with our values and adhere to them more courageously, evolving them according to inner resonance rather than outer effect. We realize that self-respect is more important than trying to control and manipulate outer events or other people. We are moved from an inner place rather than motivated by external rewards. As a consequence, it is spiritually safe for us to receive an abundance of material blessings because we know we will not try to sell our soul to obtain them. The Dharma of Kali brings the message that your most abundant successes will manifest when you're aligned with your integrity. You do not need to put your faith in pathways or projects that don't resonate with your deep spiritual knowing and values. Seeking the ways of the world to bring you what you need is going to limit your spiritual progress and undermine the most abundant manifestation of your purpose. If you intuitively know that you need to engage with a more traditional worldly means of progress, then you can do so with your spiritual integrity intact and guiding you so you stay true to yourself in the process. As you are guided from within, you shall make the best progress. So placing your hands over your heart and breathing those words in, breathing in that message, the Dharma of Kali Ma, reminding us to stay true to ourselves, to be in our integrity throughout our days, throughout this week and beyond. This message to me is a reminder that in order to call in abundance and our goals and what we wish to bring into our lives at this time, we need to be living life for ourselves. We need to be living life according to our values and aligned to what we know is right for us, right? Because we're often living a life of what society wants for us. Like, it talks about morality And Osho, one of my greatest teachers that I talk a lot about on this channel, is basically like in a way against morality, because he believes when you get too attached to that, then you become disconnected to your true self, and you become disconnected to your pleasure. You become disconnected to life, to being alive, because you're making yourself wrong. Many religions are teaching us that we're sinners, and I'm not talking down about any religions, but Tantra, of course, teaches that we are perfect as we are. We are divine. Of course, we can show up better. We can show up in our truest selves. The closer we are to our true self, the closer we are to the divine, to source. Attaching to the rules of society, attaching to what others think of us, that disconnects us from our true self. So spending a little bit of time this week especially, just a few minutes a day, drop in with yourself, with your heart, envisioning your consciousness moving from your brain, from this whole head space down into your heart. Can you see, can you feel, can you experience this life from your heart space? We're always up here. Can you drop it down? Put a reminder in your phone. That's what I do sometimes, especially right now I'm finishing my next book. So I'm in my head a lot, and I want to be writing. I want to be expressing myself from my heart. And I want my interactions with people throughout the day to always be from my heart. So multiple times a day I'll remind myself to stop, place my hands over my heart. Am I staying true to myself? Am I expressing myself from my heart? So I hope that message resonates with you, and I really hope you have a beautiful week ahead, whether you're watching this in real time on Tuesday or in the future. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week.